Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Alright, today we are going to be talking about a meta-analysis for the Players' Cup 3 for the Pokemon TCG. Alright, if you love the Pokemon trading card game and love to play it online, they have the Players' Cup 3 that's going to be going on in about a couple of weeks. Now, the video game challenge is actually starting up today. If you like to play the video game, you can play the video game version of the Players' Cup 3, which is actually starting up today. But for the trading card game, we start in a couple of weeks. February 26th to be exact. All right? I've got my pal, Amphi, to kind of hang out with me today. Gonna be a part of this first part of the video. I love my baby. All right. Oh, actually, I have to be quiet because Pikachu is sleeping back there. Big Pika's sleeping. We gotta be very quiet. Not really. Anyway, we're going to be doing a meta-analysis for the Players' Cup 3 for the TCG. That's the main thing we're going to talk about. But before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to all my people over at Instagram, all my new Instagram friends that I have. I have found really a new love for Pokemon on Instagram. People sharing pics, videos, pack openings, Champions Path openings, Vivid Voltage openings, ripping ships, packs, like you name it, the whole 9 yards. I have found like a new little community for Pokemon, and it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore all of my friends on Instagram that I've found. Honestly, I just love being a bystander. I just love watching them. I just love seeing their pics, watching their videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm just a fan. I'm just a big fan of Pokemon in general. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now granted, I don't get on there and do like videos and stuff for Instagram myself. I mean, the only thing I really do is just promote my YouTube, which is what I'm doing now. So, you know, I only do YouTube right now. So, but yeah, I'm just a big fan, and I just love to see it all. And it is absolutely amazing. So, shout out to all of my Instagram friends. My little Instagram group that I'm a part of, my little Pokemon group, Pokemon Entanglement. I really, is it Entanglement or Engagement? I don't know which one it is. But it's a great group of people. We get together, we talk about Pokemon. They share their videos, their pics of packs and stuff that they pulled, talk about life, etc. It's a great little group. All right. But yeah, I love all my friends on Instagram, so I wanted to do that. Also, I wanted to talk about me hitting 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers on YouTube. All right. Isn't that exciting, Amphi? 200 subscribers. All right. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's not really a big achievement, but you know, it's big for me. You know, 200 is a lot, you know, and I am really glad and thankful that you guys tune in to me when I do videos, that you guys watch me. You know, I'm not a big celebrity YouTuber or whatever, and, you know, I don't stream or whatnot, but, you know, if you guys enjoy it, that's all that matters. All right. So, when I come back, we are going to start this meta-analysis. All right? See you guys there. All right, guys, I am back. I am Sammy Ketchum. We are here. We're going to talk about the meta-analysis for the Players Cup 3 for the Pokemon TCG. All right. So, to get things started, there are a couple of questions we want to ask ourselves when going into the Players Cup 3. Okay. And those questions are, what's going to be the best deck for the Players Cup 3? What's the best decks for the Players Cup 3? What are the best counters? The best counters, how do I say it? Counters, rogue decks. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Not rogue decks, but surprise decks. Surprise decks that you can actually see within the Players Cup 3. What you're expected to see. And what's going to happen down the road. All right. So let's actually ask that first question. All right. So what's going to be the best decks, or actually no, what's going to be the best play, or what do you think will win the Players Cup 3? Actually, we don't really know that yet, because the Players Cup 3 won't end until April. And before then, we would have about 2 to 3 sets that really 2 sets that come out between that time. So, before the Players Cup 3 could actually be over, there's going to be new sets. And if there's new sets that's going to come out, people may play cards from those and things may change. So we actually don't know what's actually going to win the Players Cup 3. But what we can do and what we do know is what might be the best play for this first part of the Players Cup 3. And the first part of the Players Cup 3 is where you're going to have your 50 coins, and where you're going to take your 50 coins and play from the end of January to basically almost the end of February, and use up those 50 keys. So what's going to be the best play for right now? And my first pick is this: Pikachu and Zekrom GX. Alright? This deck is legit the best deck in the format right now. It's not just the best deck, it's the most consistent deck in the format right now, with all the tools it has at its disposal. Pikachu and Zekrom GX is just a badass card. Alright? It's full blitz, it's tag bolt. Everything about it is just great. This deck is basically mostly what everybody else plays. Like, this is the deck that everybody plays. Alright? You've got your 2 Pikaroms, your 1 Choo-Choo. Alright? The only things that may be slightly different, because this is my own personal build, is I play Tapu Koko V. I love the free retreat on Tapu Koko V, and doing 200 is not too shabby. After doing 150 to a Pokemon, I can come back and hit them for 200. I can come back and hit them from 200, and that'll be a knockout. Okay, so sorry for that hiccup. Alright, but this can hit for 200. This can hit for 150. Together, that basically equals like 350. That'll knock out any VMAX as a 2-shot. You've got your hammers. Alright. You've got your Mewtwo and Muse, which now Pikarom plays. Alright. Another thing that's different in this deck is Tag Switch. Now, there are some decks that actually play Tag Switch, and some of them actually play cards like Team Yell Grunt. Team Yell Grunt is actually really a great card in here as well. So, if you like Team Yell Grunt, you could take this out for the Team Yell Grunt. Team Yell Grunt is also good. You can sit there, and what you could do is you could play the Crushing Hammer to discard an energy, then play the Yell Grunt. Then your opponent will be maybe behind a turn or two, setting up energies on their Pokemon, and then you can clean up with Pikachu or Mewtwo or any of your Pokemon that has energies on it. You could clean up with those and finish the game off. Other than that, this deck is basically exactly like everybody else's deck, with the minor few choices and cuts. Maybe some of them play like 4-speed energy. Most of them play 3-speed energy, things like that. But for the most part, this is basically the base list for Pikachu and Zekrom. Best deck in the format. This is the best thing that'll get you through the grinder of your 50 keys. If you want to basically really do well in those tournaments, go in there at Pikarom, win most of your tournaments, cruise through consistently, and get your regional spot. Get your regional 250 player spot. Alright? This is one of the decks that can do it. Alright? Alright? Now, in order to show you the other decks, I am going to move to the Chill Series 15. Alright, this was a tournament that just happened, like, you know, not too long ago, about like a week ago or so. The reason why I chose this series is because it has a representation of every single deck that is basically doing well right now in the meta, and I can legit show you those decks, you know, and some of the people who are piloting them, you know. One of the decks that you will actually see in the Players Cup 3, and one that you actually should consider, you know, climbing the ladder with your 50 keys, is Cinescorch. This one is piloted by Pedro Torres. We can actually look at the list here. Alright. It has Cinescorch and Savali in it. So, Savali is a new inclusion into the deck. Savali is a new inclusion into the deck. And the reason why you play Savali is because sometimes decks who like the Marnie, decks who like the Reset Stamp, will put the Cinescorch player in a real bad spot that they can't get out of. Because like Cinescorch, most of the time what you're going to do is you're going to welder, you're going to draw cards, you're going to try to keep cards in your hand in order, you know, and then build up your Cinescorch, you know, your linear Cinescorch, and keep attacking. But if you get Marnied or if you get Reset Stamped, you know, that really hurts you. You really, you know, you dealing with the low hand size and not having what you need really hurts. So Savali comes in with his disreload ability, letting you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Gives you a better chance of seeing the cards you need to complete the game. You know, giving you that chance, giving you that shot, you know, gives the Cinescorch player a little bit of an edge in those matchups that play Marnie and Reset Stamp. Alright, so this is Cinescorch. Cinescorch Savali. This is one of the Cinescorch builds that you will see in the Players Cup 3. Also, you will also see the regular Cinescorch. Alright, this one is piloted by Dark Ryan, I guess. Alright, we'll take a look at this one too. This is regular Cinescorch, Ability Scorch. Alright, you got Cinescorch. Let's just click on this real quick. Alright, oh, that's the V. Not the V. The V Max. Okay. Alright, so you got Cinescorch V Max, of course. So we got Cinescorch V Max. You've got Jirachi's. Yeah, this is regular Cinescorch. So if you're competitive players, you'll know, what these cards do and why these cards are played. But yeah, this is regular Cinescorch. Cinescorch as a whole has great matchups across the board. Great matchups against ADP, Luke Metal. You've got weakness against those guys. Also, as far as Luke Metal is concerned, they like to use a lot of Zamazenta Vs. Zamazenta Vs can basically be countered with Volcanion, which is right here. Since it is a basic, and if you can hit with the High Heat Blast with 4 energies on your Pokemon, he could do 110, which is like 220 damage. This also is a great counter to Decidueye when people play Decidueye decks. So this is also a great counter to Decidueye as well as Fire Weak decks. So also in Cinescorch now we have a Reshiram and Charizard GX. This is not only in Cinescorch decks, this is also in the Blounds decks now. Flare Strike can do 230, which is actually really good. With a Vitality Band that's 240, that could one-shot a Pika Rom. Alright, without a Big Charm. Double Blaze GX is actually a really good choice GX attack. If you get 6 energies on this, you can do 300 damage. Alright, Outrage isn't too bad either. So this is, they've started teching this into Cinescorch and Blounds decks because of decks like Pika Rom. So here's another thing that players are doing. Players are respecting Pika Rom. Since players are respecting Pika Rom, they are playing Reshiram and Charizard to try to counter that. I'm surprised they're not playing Mew in their decks to counter Tag Bolt, because Tag Bolt is a thing, and Tag Bolt is something that Pokemon players should do. But I think they do Tag Bolt less and maybe go for more of a Lightning Ride. But, but maybe that's why people aren't teching Mew. But I like Mew as a tech as well against Pika Rom. Another deck that you will be seeing is Blounds. This is another deck that's going to be, that you'll be seeing, not only be seeing, but this is another choice that you should consider for playing in a Players Cup 3. Alright? Blacephalon. It is a Great One prize deck with the Fireball Circus. 50 times the number of energies you discard from your hand. So, here's another option. But now, this deck doesn't play as many Blacephalons anymore. It only plays 2 because this is more of a Firebox deck now. Now you have 2 Reshiram and Charizards. So they're really trying to respect the Pika Rom matchup here. Alright, so they also play Reshiram and Charizard. There also should be Okay, yeah. 2 Cramorant Vs. Cramorant V is a great bench attacker. You know, hitting for 160 damage with the spit shot. You know, so you can KO the Dedenne on the bench and get 2 prizes. So you get 2 prizes there. Maybe get 1 or 2 prizes with the Blacephalon. Or if you could get a big Pokemon with the Blacephalon, you can. And then you can maybe clean up with the Reshiram and Charizard. You know, so that is the plan now. You know, that is the plan with Blounds now. It's just not you sit there and hit with the Blacephalon. You now basically split your job up between 3 attackers: Cramorant, Blacephalon, and Reshiram and Charizard GX. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's see. Another deck that you will see is Luke Metal. We're going to look at the number 8 list here. Alright. Luke Metal is very simple. It doesn't have many Pokemon. So the one thing I see with Luke Metal decks is that this deck can brick. It doesn't have a lot of Pokemon. So I can see this deck doing lots of mulligans. And if you're sitting there and you sit there with only like if you get lucky and get out, you know, a Zacian V as a start and get the Pokemon you need as a start. But even though it looks like this, it doesn't have a lot of Pokemon, this deck is very powerful because of the way that it can stall. Cario Melmetal with his full Metal Wall GX attack, with 1 energy, well really with 2 energy. Once you get 2 energy on this thing, you could basically do the GX attack. Alright, you minus 30 damage from all of your metal Pokemon for the rest of the game, and you discard all of the energies from your opponent's active Pokemon. So what basically Luke Metal tries to do is that they try to basically wait until their opponent brings up one of their big Pokemon with all their energy on it, and then wait for them to attack. Once they attack, they'll bring up the Luke Metal, and then discard all the energy, and now it's minus 30 for the rest of the game. Also, they also play the Metal Goggles, which is also minus 30. Which is also minus 30 less damage. So that's minus 60 now. And they play 4 of them. So every Pokemon that they literally want to protect with the Metal Goggles is going to get the Metal Goggles, and it's going to be minus 60 with the GX attack. Minus 60 damage that your opponent will be able to do to them. Which is pretty big, you know. So while they sit there and you're doing minus 60, they're going to power up their Zacians and hit for 230 damage, which isn't too shabby. Alright, this is KOing all the Pokemon Vs, and you could 2-shot VMAXs. Of course, you hit like the Dedenne and stuff like that easily. You know, so that's Luke Metal's game. It's a very, very good, solid game plan going into Players Cup 3. Another deck that you will see in Players Cup 3 is this one. ADP Zacian. Alright? ADP Zacian is really a very good deck. Honestly, I don't know why they're playing 3 Zacian, but, you know. Alright. Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. With this Alter Creation GX attack is probably the most powerful GX attack in the game. To be able to take an extra prize and do an extra 30 damage on top of whatever you're doing is very powerful. Now Ultimate Ray is now doing 180, so now you're knocking out the Denes and Crobats, and then you're powering up your Pokemon, which most of the time is going to be, of course, Zacian V, that you're going to power up with Ultimate Ray. 230 now is 260. So, you know, and then what you do is you're going to be going, after you do Ultimate Ray or whatever, you're going to be going, where is it at? Here we go. Boss's Orders. You're going to be going Boss's Orders. So you boss up a Dedenne, knock it out 3 prizes. Next turn, boss up another Dedenne or something, take 3 more prizes. That's the game. That's the game plan for ADP. Across the board. Going across the board. Any deck that plays any 2 prizers, they're now 3 prizers. Any deck that plays 3 prizers, they're now 4 prizers for ADPization, which is insane. So you will definitely see this deck in waves in the Players Cup 3. First part and the regional part. Another deck that you will see is Colossal. You will see Colossal. Colossal isn't as popular as the other decks, but I think people will play it. I think you will see this. Colossal's up and coming, and I think you will definitely see this. This list is piloted by Michelle Bablin. All right. Colossal is very tanky boy with his G-Max Boulder attack and its Eruption Shot. Eruption Shot is so good. It is so good, especially against Pikarom and Eternatus. Well, I would say Pikarom without Mewtwo and Mew. If you could catch them off guard when they don't have a Mewtwo and Mew, then you could get their Pikarom. You definitely will take wins against Eternatus with this. And decks that are fighting weak. But this deck being a tank, this build has Wondrous Labyrinth. And as to guess why this is in this deck, you want to slow your opponent down. And if you're using Wondrous Labyrinth and you're using the first attack, the reason why Colossal can use it is because if you're using the first attack and you have at least 2 energies on the Colossal, you can bypass the Wondrous Labyrinth. You're only doing the first attack. You know. So, you know, whereas like, well, if you need 1 energy to attack, now you need 2, but you've got your 2, but you played a Labyrinth to lock down your opponent. So now, if it takes them 3 energies to attack, now it would take them 4. So it'll put them behind a turn. And if they're behind a turn, that now gives you another turn to do what you need to do. So, yeah, this deck is very good with the Rotom Phones. I really like this card in Colossal. I really like this card in Colossal. So I definitely think you will see Colossal. I don't think you'll see it as much as the other decks that I've talked about so far, but you will see it. Another deck that you will see is Decigoons. Decidueye. You'll see Decigoons. You'll also see Decidueye decks by themselves, without the Obstagoon. But Decidueye is very powerful because Vs and Pokemon GXs cannot attack Decidueye. So you sit there, you get out a couple of Decidueye, and you just wall. And they won't be able to hit you. Pikarom won't be able to hit you. Pokemon Vs and VMAXs won't be able to hit you. And that's most of the meta. You know, so you will see this deck. People will play it to try to knock off the rest of the meta. Will this be a really decent pick to get the grind through your 50 keys? Honestly, you can try to, but I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it. I would pick something like Pikarom or ADP or Centiskorch, but yeah, this deck, if you are confident with this deck, with this playstyle, if you're really good with it, if you are really good with this deck and you've been crushing it, play it. Play it. That's my advice. If you've been crushing it in these online tournaments with your deck and have been topping tournaments, then by all means play the deck that you're best suited to play. Don't go sit there and play something else that you know that you're not used to playing. Let's see. Another deck I think you will see. Well, I'm not entirely sure about this one. I would say this is more of like a rogue X Factor pick. Reshiram and Charizard. It's like a firebox. Yeah. But let's see, another deck I said Decigoons. Mad Party. Yeah. You can expect some Mad Party decks to be seen at the Players Cup 3. Not as much as Centiskorch, ADP, Pikarom, Luke Metal, you know, but or Eternatus. But yeah, you will see representation for Mad Party. You will see Mad Party decks. It is a one prize deck that can actually do really well in hitting some decent numbers. So you will see Mad Party decks. Alright. Oh, I did not talk about Eternatus. I did not talk about Eternatus. Alright. Eternatus VMAX. You will definitely see this deck in the Players Cup 3. For 2 energies, it is very good. Doing 30 times 30 damage times the number 30 times the amount of dark Pokemon you have in play. And with its ability, you can have up to 8 Pokemon on your bench. So that making it 270, which is a very good number to hit. 270 is actually a really good sweet spot. 270 knocks out Mewtwo and Mew, and it'll knock out Pikarom, it'll knock out Choo-Choo, it'll knock out, well, actually, it won't knock out ADP. Well, with a Zigzagoon Ping, it can knock out ADP. But yeah, 270 is a sweet spot to knock out GX Pokemon. You basically you KO all of the basic Vs because they're under 270, so you get those. So yeah, 270 is not, 270 is a sweet spot. All right. So yeah. Pikarom, Eternatus, Colossal, Centiskorch, Luke Metal, ADP, the decks that I mentioned, Mewtwo Elder, I don't think this deck will really be. I think people will play it, but it won't be seen as much as the other decks. I don't think. I would actually put, let me see if I can find one on here. Trying to see if I can find, but a Mewtwo Pika build, a Mewtwo Pika ROM build, I think would be a lot better than the Mewtwo Welder if people wanted to play that. Let's see if this is the Poisonous. Yeah, this is the Poisonous Eternatus. You will also see Poison Eternatus along with straight Eternatus. Using Galarian Slowbro with the Rapid Fire Poison to put in the active and then switch back to the bench. Along with Toxicroak, saying if you're poisoned, put 2 more damage counters on your opponent's poison Pokemon during the between turns. So you will see Poison and Straight Eternatus. So honestly, those are all the decks that that really have the best chance of grinding through your 50 keys. You know, they're really the best decks that you can grind your 50 keys for. Now, as far as sleeper picks, are things maybe like Dragapult. Dragapult, I don't know if you really call it a sleeper pick because it's weak to Eternatus, and that's the biggest thing. But I mean, and it has also, Dragapult also has other pretty bad matchups as well. So I really wouldn't call Dragapult a sleeper pick. But people might consider it. Inteleon or Inteleon Darmanitan VMAX. That could do okay, but you're playing against, if you're doing the Inteleon Darmanitan, you're playing against basically the 2 worst weaknesses in the format. You got a weakness to Electric, which is Pikarom, and you also have a weakness to Metal, which is ADPization, Luke Metal, things like that. So you're not sitting good. And even if you try to counter each of those decks with the other one, you're still not liable to win those matchups because those decks are so good. Alright? Alright, now, here is my sleeper pick. I'm going to show you guys my sleeper pick for the Players' Cup 2 for grinding through the cup, for grinding through the tickets. Pikachu VMAX. Pikachu VMAX. The big Pika. Yes. This is my sleeper pick. This is my sleeper pick. Okay? And I am going to tell you why. Okay? This is my sleeper pick. I'm telling you, this deck is good. Telling you this deck is good. G-Max Volt Tackle, hitting for 270 damage, well, after you discard all your energies, is insane. Is freaking insane. Everybody has written this card off and says Pikachu VMAX is not good. They're saying that it's just a collector's card. I'm telling you, this card is more than a collector's card. This card is actually good. Okay? And the reason why is because 270, like I said before, is a sweet spot. You knock out Mewtwo and Mew. You knock out Pikachu and Zekrom. You knock out Choo-Choo. You basically get almost all the tag teams. And with the Vitality Band, you knock out ADP. You knock out ADP, Arceus Dialga Palkia, which is big. Very, very big. If they sit there and they attach energy to ADP, or they get off the GX attack on their next turn, you sit there, you come back with the Vitality Band on a big Pika, do 280 damage, and knock it out before they power up their Evisation, before they power up their Pokemon. And sometimes you can even get them before they even get off their GX attack, which is insane. I'm telling you, this is insane. And the reason why it's insane is because of Electrode. Electrode gets Big Pika powered up so fast, like lightning, of course. You get powered up so fast that you could get energies back onto this Pika to get attacking again. Also, when you go second, you basically can use Bolton V to power up your Pikachu V. So you use Bolton V to electrify, get 2 energies on a Pikachu V, and then next turn, evolve to the VMAX, Vitality Band, knock out the ADP. Discard all the energies. Alright? So you knock out most of the tag teams that are actually good in this format. Alright? Also, against Lucario Melmetal. That's right, Lucario Melmetal, this deck is actually pretty decent. If you sit there and do G-Max Volt Tackle against Lucario Melmetal, alright, before they get off their GX attack, and then you do that, boom, guess what? They have no energies. No energies at all. So basically the fear of Lucario Melmetal player taking off the energy from Pikachu VMAX is not there. You don't have to worry about them discarding your energy. You've already done it yourself. But the trick is that you're going to use something like Electrode to get it powered back up. That's something that they can't stop. You see what I'm saying? So they can't take energies away from you, and that's very big. Now, the minus 30, minus 60 damage from the GX attack, that's pretty solid. But after you get off a G-Max Volt Tackle or a couple of G-Max Volt Tackles, you know, and without them discarding your energy, after you do that, then you sit there and you start getting your energies back into play, and you can attack with Bolton. After you get your energies back, you can attack with Bolton and Bolton's Bolt Storm, and then that'll clean up the Luke Metal. Also, this will also take care of their Zamazenta. We also have Ordinary Rod. Ordinary Rod to help us get back at least 2 energies, shuffling back into the deck to kind of reuse at least 2 of these energies that we discard off of Big Pika. So we do that, we cycle them back through the deck, you know, blow up Electro. Yes, they take a prize, but in this case, it is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Also, this deck has a pseudo counter to Decidueye. Has a pseudo counter to Decidueye decks as well. Electros. 130 damage. Alright? But the reason why I included this into the deck is because this deck automatically plays Vitality Band. You attach the Vitality Band to the Electros and you're hitting 240. Not 240, but I mean 140, which is enough to knock out the Decidueye. Since this deck already plays Vitality Band, I taken the Electros to kind of get over that matchup. You know. So other than that, this deck is basically standard. You got bosses, you got Marnies, you got researches, you got air balloons. Yeah, you've got your 2 Dedenes, your 1 Crobat. Very self-explanatory. But yeah, this is my sleeper pick. So this is my sleeper pick. I'm definitely gonna take a couple of keys, some keys, and play this deck because I just think it's fantastic. I think it's freaking fantastic. This will upset some people. These will definitely upset some people. Also, if you want to, you can take out a line of electrode and find room for crushing hammers. Crushing hammers will be very, very good in here, especially against Eternatus. One deck that this deck will have trouble with is Cinescorch. So far, I've had trouble with Cinescorch, facing Cinescorch with this deck. For some reason, we can't get over Cinescorch. I honestly don't know why, but we cannot get over Cinescorch. You know, very bad matchup. So, take that with a grain of salt. You know, other than that, I really, really solidly like this deck. But yeah, those are my top picks for this first part of the Players' Cup. As far as what's going to do well down the line, going further into the Players' Cup 3, honestly, we don't know. There's going to be at least 2 sets that are going to come out between those times. So people could play something new. Also, within that time, Shining Fates will come out. There's not too many cards in Shining Fates, so it would be competitive. But there's maybe 1 or 2 cards that people may play. And then Battle Styles. Battle Styles will come at the end of the Players' Cup 3. But it may be relevant for the Players' Cup 3. So, honestly, I'm just going to hold all of that until we get there. Other than that, yeah, that is my meta-analysis. Yeah, that's my meta-analysis. But really, seriously, between Big Pika and Pikarom, well, Black Lightning as I like to call it, I say these are your best picks. Pikarom, Cinescorch, ADPization, Luke Metal, Eternatus, Colossal, Sigigoons, Blounds. Hey, those are your choices. Those are going to be what's going to get you the most points going into the regionals of the Players' Cup 3. All right. Also, before I go, give another shout out to all of my new Instagram friends. I love you guys. Thank you guys for, following me, putting up with me. I'd like to thank all of my YouTube subscribers. Helped me to get to 200. Hopefully, I can get it even higher. On that note, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can get more followers. And as always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.